Good afternoon, Lotus Leaguers. We are back again. Once again, we got some exciting matches. Today we got Sunder versus TR. What else we got? We got Outrage versus D4. That's gonna be later. And then even around that same time, we got Aziri Dynasty and Persephone. New team. Facing off against one of our stronger teams. So yeah, let's get things started here. We could pull this lever and we could get this party started right. All right. Bands are in order. Who's getting a chopping block first? Is that a Gengar? Where am I? What? We got a Gengar? What? Man, talk about target bans. These guys are ruthless. I don't like that Gengar. He's all big and purple and scary. And I don't like it. He needs to go. Psyduck in permajail where he belongs, along with Charwai. Blissey needs to be incarcerated forever. I just do not like that mon. It's not its fault. It's more so the design philosophy, but that is a discussion for another time. The rest of the bands will be Talonflame and Umbreon. These are Talonflame. Whoa, these are target bands. They're not liking these speedsters. That is for sure. All right, first pick over on, I believe, Sunder. We're going to have Snorlax. That is always a good choice. And now we're going to have Metagross and Pikachu. All right. People are actually going to start using this patch. I want to see Pikachu. I want to see Metagross. How do you say Metagross is like plural? Is it Metagrossai or just Metagross, or Metagross is, what's the actual terminology for that? I never know.
Metas.
Metas. We'll call them metas. Actually like that.
Yeah.
We'll call them the metas.
That means a bunch of Metagrosses.
Yes.
Metagross.
The metas. All right. Well, over on the left side, the champ is not banned at the moment. There is the four-armed man on the loose, along with a Suicune, a Decidueye, and an Espeon. For Espeon, I've been really learning to appreciate this mon. It is such a team player. Not greedy for levels, always proactive, always providing value.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a good
Has
mon.
good secure.
Good secure. Good stuns.
Good passive.
Mm-hmm.
Good cooldowns.
It has anti-dive tools, has an engagement tool.
Mm-hmm.
That's a wonderful mod. I didn't appreciate it before, but now I do. I have acquired knowledge, and that's what it's all about. Over on the right side, though, we're going to have a Mr. Mime, a Miraidon, and a Leafeon. So looking at both teams, they seem relatively balanced here. Though there's a big thing there's the elephant in the room, quote unquote. There's the Snorlax. I would say that Sunder has the stronger engage. They have the Machamp, they have the Snorlax, and they have the Suicune for a lot of mid-range stuns. TR's gonna have Mr. Mime to kind of fill that gap, which is fine. Mr. Mime just has to be on point. It has to really be on point. Gonna have what's cut off for him. The interactions for the walls versus Heavy Slam might not be in Mr. Mime's favor, however. But we'll see. We're going to start things off. Snorlax is going to head towards the bottom with its Espeon. That is going to be a very tough lane to beat. We're going to have Decidueye be the jungler for Sunder. Over at the top, we're going to have Suicune and Machop. That is a very strong lanes across the board. Very well crafted. Also over at the top lane for TR, they're going to have Metagross all by itself. They want to invest in a little bit of Pikachu to have the red buff. I do agree with this. Bellum can hold its own at least for a little bit. Leafeon's also gonna be the jungler. He's gonna be level 4 and it's gonna have a power spike. It's gonna go walk right up. But they're also gonna have Murano get a piece of that jungle. They're spreading the love for everybody. This team usually does this. They've done this last time actually, if I remember correctly. They just split the experiences around. A bit unconventional, but hey, I like to see new things. Top lane is collapsing as before, having a 3-on-3. TR taking a bit of damage. Suicune's just like a Pokemon that feels like it's with mods. It is so strong in lane, especially in the early phase. A little too strong if you ask me. Look at that. Look at that. Oh,
and he's down though.
Oh, he caught the Machop. Look at getting out this farm. They had the Miraidon rotate up. It's actually going to be a 4-on-3. All right. Leafeon has been fully active. Well, not fully active, but more also activated. It's going to be able to take that 1v1. That's something that teams have to really watch out for. If you lose like a lane like that hardcore, then like the next logical step would be invade. So you have to like send people to manage that. Like this.
All active, Leafeon. Yep.
Vanish. All right, back at the bottom, we have Bishop Mine biding its time. Miraidon has reconvened with it. There's going to be the secure. Good wall placement. It is 8. It's time for Regidrago on the ground on map. No one's quite going for it yet. Mr. Mime is there first, getting some vision. Their Ghost has vision on Decidueye. Going straight in. Sorry. Whoa. Leafeon was hungry for it.
Nope, never mind.
Next time. Uh-oh. Submission. Nope. He's gonna have to settle for that guy. Down goes the mine. That's end for its performance. Uh-oh. Oh boy, use that EJ. You don't want to get caught. That is a death loop. Almost time for 720 for both lanes. We're gonna have both attackers for Sunder head to the bottom. We're gonna have Espeon and Decidueye, but over at the top we're gonna have Machoke and a Pikachu. A little bit early of an E-ball there. Not gonna get into the secures. Uh-oh. Metagross getting caught there. I'm telling you, Sunder has stronger engage. That's going to be a good benefit for them in this match.
Yeah, especially when the Snorlax gets
Yes.
its levels.
It's level 7 right now. It is very well paced. There is the heavy slam. Couldn't get the block combination. Pikachu did a good job. He's like, hey, you're going to heavy slam on me. That's fine. I'm going to use the hinders resistance of Bolt Tackle to not be stunned and get caught in the block combination. An excellent Decidueye up. Just clear out the opposition and they're going to get some scores in. And mathematical. Big overcap. Success is being seen for Sunder up top, but at the bottom, TR is going to get some success here. They're not going to quite break the bag. I don't think the bottom pad, I don't think they need to break it just yet. Use this to get some levels back. They already got the objective. But they're going to have to send some people to play some defense. That champ is level 9 and has his ultimate. Let's take a look out here right now. There is a wall. He's about to get KO'd. He might just have to rip it. And Pikachu once again using Volt Tackle for the hinder resistance. People don't fully realize how strong of a tool that move really is. Well, TR with a successful defense. Sunder has to retreat, recuperate some resources back. Score is 129 to 104. It is a competitive set thus far. And still trying to get some good entry damage with the Spirit Shackle. Neither team has a healing support, so that poke damage is pretty much permanent. Espeon biding its time. Pikachu gonna go for a juicy 40 overcap. Can Decidueye get the snipe shot in time? Nope, just missed it. Good stuff.
144 to 144, that's cool.
Yeah, that tied up the game.
Look at the numbers.
That tied it up.
They do math.
Checking at the bottom back here. It's about a neutral position. There's no objectives. There's not a lot of farm up. Everyone's just kind of biding their time, trying to get some spacing in when they can. Leafon's making its move over at the top here. Looks like it's gonna head towards this. Oh, Center Farm showed up. That's more experience. Right on time. Looks like both teams are largely gonna converge at the bottom. Uh-oh, Mr. Mime got caught.
Nope.
And
He sure did.
He decided not to pull the trigger.
There goes that Miraidon ult though.
And they also got the Pikachu ult as well. Pikachu getting caught
Oh,
out.
unless he gets caught.
All right.
Miraidon gets it though. That's good.
There's the heavy slam, but that is an X speed, and Espeon goes down. But soon after is Leafeon. Oh yeah, this is a scrappy match right now. This is back and forth. Yep, there's the Machamp ult, Righteous Fury. Triple KO. Well, taking a look at Suicune over here, he's playing some good defense here. Making sure this Regieleki doesn't walk in for free. The score is very close, 144 to 169. Don't want to give free points away. I do see that Suicune is falling a bit behind in levels, just a little bit. Taking a look over here back at the bottom. Yeah, everyone's just preparing for the final fight. No need to overextend, no need for a big battle. It has been a pretty even set. Both teams are respecting each other. Having Mr. Mime getting some vision towards the bottom and seeing that they're pretty much towards the bottom side. TR sees that, oh, we got 3 members. We got 4 members at the bottom for Sunder. Leafen's backcapping. That is all members basically accounted for. Meadow's getting very good entry damage. This Snorlax is level 10. Pretty far behind at this phase of the game, which means that the scaling isn't quite there. So that damage is really going to hurt. He doesn't have the HP, he doesn't have the defense or special defenses to be taking some of this damage. That block is going to be putting in some overtime. He has to really pick and choose his moments, and that's very important for an engage.
The champ trying to do a back cap.
Champ trying to do a sneaky back cap. Might get isolated here.
Gonna catch him? Nope.
He is playing his life. He didn't get hit at all for that. He's looking for somebody. All right, he's going to retreat back. Medico's looking for a way in.
Oh, no, Medico. No.
Uh-oh, isolated. All right. Whoa, he's in a ball right now, serving it up for Metagross. Mr. Mime with a good ult there. Mons are going down here.
Yeah, Machamp's still alive, though.
Machamp is still up. He has his ult. He's been doing a good job holding it. He doesn't need to pull the trigger just now. He has a big X factor. But they need to start making a move soon. They still have a bit of time. Yeah. The score's not down that much. We still have a
Leafeon ult, a Mime ult.
Uh-oh.
Sneaking
that in. Good choice. Extend the lead a little bit more. The Sidgeway's like, all right, time to start ripping it, folks.
Yeah, he's like, no, we gotta rip.
Leafeon's like, all right, I gotta chuck top. All right. This is gonna be a big fight.
He can run.
Pika's going down. Pumon's are going down. There's the submission. Machamp has already ulted. Leafeon has already taken down Decidueye, but that is fine.
Yeah, they don't have time to rip now.
Yep, the rip is gone. Machamp's like, I know. I'm going to go up and score. It's going to be a big 100, but that's not going to be enough. The rest of the team's going to try to rip here. It's going to be a bit slow. Machamp is... I don't think Machamp comes back. He's just going to have to rely on his team to kind of finish ripping this, and Machamp's going to have to go for another back cap in the time frame. They're going to have to really rely on this. Any kind of score will work, but they have too much points. Yep. Not going to do it. Very competitive set. That was sweaty.
I was holding my breath. I was like, oh, shit.
And this is the matches we like to see. Highly competitive. 244 to 265. Could have went either way. We're going to have TR taking game 1. All right, looking at the details page here, we're going to have Blondie the Leafeon as the MVP, 7 KOs, 3 assists. Had a very key pick on the Decidueye. Good choice. Taking that down, that is the ripper of the team and partially also the scary. It was a 2-1. So that slowed everything down, and yeah, Sunder could not afford that. So yeah, that is good stuff. Also looking at the battle data. Yep, the numbers follow suit. We have Miraidon just getting all the entry damage, 63k. That is good stuff. So I think so initially Metagross was able to isolate the Decidueye in that fight there. He did its ultimate, couldn't really be stopped. It detected at least 3 people, went to the lowest health target with the Decidueye. That creates the dome there, so the Decidueye can't really escape unless it uses like an eject button of some sort. That was easy pickings for the Miraidon. Very good stuff right there. Got him all in one spot. Got the KO to Decidueye, and that kind of aired out the situation, giving both teams some time to contemplate the next move. And we had TR just playing their advantage from there. So good stuff to them. We're going to head on over to game 2. They're going to have to admin this part to get them to point flip. Looks like we're going to do a Kyogre map. And looks like, who wants first pick? Sunder wants first pick. Kyogre first pick. I see. All right.
I gave you that, so I'm going to stay in the VC obviously until 9.
Right.
So I can start the lobby for the other game.
All right. So yeah, you did all the setup. Good. All right. Well, whenever they're ready, we can start.
J.
All right, looks like both teams are ready. I can hit the start button then. Get it on.
Pull the lever.
All right. I'm very looking forward to this game too. Game 1 was very exciting. Back to the target man. We're going to get this Gengar out of here. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Both teams played that match very well. I'm not sure if they need to make any adjustments, they're going to be very fine-tuned. So I'm not sure what they should make, honestly. At this point, it's just micro that needs to be adjusted, not so much mon picks or compositions. Both teams had very functional teams. They are going to get rid of the Machamp, though. I do agree with it. Machamp provides so much value. And to keep Talonflame off the board, but that means that a mon like Charizard Y is available. If anyone's down to pick it, it does have plenty of counters. There is plenty of them. We're going to have Scarlet on first pick once again. Snorlax is available. It's a very good first pick. It is a strong tank. Probably the best right now, or at least one of them. Now that Blastoise has been toned down, which is funny. Like before the nerfs, Blastoise was like the best defender, quote unquote, but like a mon like Snorlax counters him. Snorlax is just never bad. It's always been strong. It has always been strong. Checking out here, we're going back to Pikachu and Metagross. That their mons worked. I did like it. That Pikachu was putting in the work. A lot of good Volt Tackle usages to keep himself alive. Really leveraging the hindrance resistance of Volt Tackle. I love that TR ever did that. Over on Sunday, we're going to have Hoopa, and we're going to have an earlier pick on Espeon. These are good choices. Looks like we're going to have a Zacian here for Nangong, or Nangong. Excuse me if I butchered that pronunciation. I'm just going to call him you. Over on TR, we're going to have Miraidon, and they're going to be taking away the Suicune pick. I do like that.
Nangong Yu?
Nangong Yu. Okay. And we're also gonna have Barn on Leafeon. They're taking picks from each other. These are I like to see this. These are higher level teams. We have an interesting choice. We have Charizard X. He might cook here, actually. Maybe he's running that full heal, which he is. Charizard Y has good targets. Pretty much anyone outside of Metagross is a very good target for Charizard X. And it definitely has the speed, but it has to be careful. He has to not only play around the Volt Tackle, he has to play around the Whirlpool Ice Beam, and he has to also play around perhaps the Tropic that the Dodrio was playing. So that full heal could only stop so much. It's going to really need very good timing. He's going to have to really rely on the engages that Snorlax is providing and the extra pressure from an off angle that Leafeon is providing. But it also might work out, if Fupo just ults and he just gets to stun everybody, so that's just free reign. So we will see. Looking at TR's team, they have the range advantage. Absolutely. That Leafeon's going to have a hard time coming in, and they have a Dodrio. They have a Speedster themselves to kind of also manage the flank. So this is the relationship with the Speedster class. Speedsters kind of tend to themselves. They need experience. They have a lot of push damage. They have a lot of mobility. And they're playing off angles. So one of their primary responsibilities is to manage the flank, aka off angles, but against the other Speedster. So if one of them's not doing it, then you just get to have free reign on the opponent's backline. Or if you beat them in a one-on-one, you get to have free reign on the opponent's backline. That's your reward here. Back to the match. As usual, we're going to have Snorlax and Espeon heading towards the bottom. They'll be going off against Suicune here with a Miraidon, playing it straight, going straight to the bottom. Dodrio here will be the jungler. Pikachu's getting some of the experience, trying to get the red buff. Over at the top, we're going to have Beldum holding it down. Getting the secure on that farm, that is pretty huge. Is doing it all by itself. Charizard X wants to stack. I believe Pikachu is here, but it's hard to stack against a Pikachu. It has that Electro Web. That is very dangerous. Leafeon is here a bit early. Scouting it out. He's like, you know what? I'm here early. Let me go invade. I do like this play. Let me get my level 5 the old-fashioned way. Slowing down the other jungler. It's like, hey, we're both level 4. It's even, right? You know what I mean? But it's not even. Leafeon scales much earlier. And it's buying its time. It popped its X attack to try to go in, but it just couldn't quite get that. Dodrio reaches level 5, getting some of the farm over at the top. Check this out. It's about to be 850. And it's going to be a 3-on-3. Let's see who's going to get this. Leafeon is going in for the kill here. Getting good damage. No one could quite get finished off. It is a bit of a stalemate. Though, I would say most of the farm went over to TR. Leafeon heading back to the center, getting some more farm. That looks like it's not going to leverage the invade, which is a good choice. We also had Suicune here on guard. Good choice, being there just in case, providing vision. Beldum is not level 4, not level 5 just yet. He needs a single piece of farm. Just a single piece. It looks like he's going to have to wait. He might take the risk and go across, the other side. Go get the Beldum. Go get the Baltoy, sorry. Get that level 5. You need that power spike. Just in time, too. It is now 8. It's now time for Regidrago. Gonna start ripping this objective. Dodrio is here as well. Leafeon's like, well, can't really do much, but he got the secure anyway. Good show. All right. All right, checking this out here. Yep, Sunder's making a play for this bottom lane. They want this. They want it bad. Not much Miraidon can do about this. And time for 720. Leafeon is level 8, which it has its ultimate. They have Charmeleon here. About to get a KO on the Pikachu, along with the help of Hoopa. There is the full heal. Needs to get out of here. It's gonna go for this Baltoy to try to reach its level 7, and it has it. Level Charizard is available. It's not level 9 yet. That's when it gets... Oh, whoa! Flare Blitz with the shield! Hoopa being a good teammate. Can he get out in time? Just in time! Clutch. Ethan coming into here for backup. There's gonna be a huge block. Suicune is out of position. Pikachu gets KO by Hoopa. Oh, yep, time to bail. They couldn't get the score in. At this point, Charizard is gonna be looking to get its level 9. This Hoopa is doing a wonderful job being a support. Pushing people away with Phantom Force. Providing hyperspace hole for damage and for heals and a retreat point. Looks like it's gonna be able to get away. Well, Snorlax got away. Hoopa couldn't. Now, I understand that Hoopa was at the hyperspace hold position, but if its feet is not on the ground, for like say, for example, a Volt Tackle, it puts you in the air, then you won't be able to take the hyperspace hold. That is the counterplay. Leafeon gets the Registeel on the bottom, but it gets KO'd for that. We're having Espeon here. Is this a Side Shock or a Future Sight or a... Which Espeon is this? Ah, which move? What was that move called again? I forgot. It's not Side Shock. It's a Future Sight.
Think about it. Here's your homework, because I can't tell you.
That's the one move I haven't really used yet, because I don't like it as much.
It's Psy.
Wave?
What's the other half? What'd you say?
Psy Wave?
No, bro. Psy Beam.
Oh. I thought that move was Psy Beam? Are you sure?
Psy Beam, Psy Shock, and then there's...
Future Sight, and what's the last one?
Yeah.
There's a fourth move.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll take your word for it. Alright, Snorlax got just out of there. That's a triple KO for Leafeon. Can they finally score on this pad? This Suicune's being a nuisance, but no more. He got it in just in time. And everyone took the bus and Miraidon whiffed its ult, but it canceled it to recharge some of it, get a refund.
They're taking advantage of this Hoopa, and I'm really liking how they're using it.
Yes, this is a sweaty set, but Sunder is pulling ahead here. Charizard X has its ultimate. I'm gonna rip the Regieleki. They have the ults to walk this in potentially. Let's see what they do here. Yep, Charizard is walking it down. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a massive invasion right here. Metagross ulting. Charizard taking too much damage. He's gonna ult to try to save himself, but it's too late. Charizard took way too much damage. That is gonna be KO, but wait. Hoopa's like, hey guys, we'll be over here. We're gonna get these points in no matter what.
Oh, that was loud.
Good show. And now he's gonna leave. Alright, Metagross is looking to score top. No one's here quite yet, but the Snorlax, it is on its way. Blocking him out of there. No scores for you. Alright. I did some investigation. That move is called Stored Power. There we go. That was the name I was looking for. That Espeon is using Stored Power. Interesting choice. But I kind of get it. I can kind of see why the team of TR is not that grouped up together. Metagross getting hit here. Leafeon getting frozen, overextending a bit, gonna get KO'd. Take the bus, hurry! They're out of there. Hoop is such a good mon. If you want to support, Hoop is your main man. I think he's the best support in the game, in my opinion. Score is 325 to 110. Sunder has a commanding lead. 20 seconds left until Kyogre spawns in. We have Charizard X playing at an off angle, along with Dodrio, sitting in a bush for vision. Sunder's taking a lot of positioning here, a lot of space in the center. Leafeon should have vision on, well, no, he doesn't have vision on Dodrio. It kind of whiffed back. Back at the bottom, Metagross is going in right now. I believe it is ulted, or it doesn't have it yet. All right, what is happening up here? Something important is happening. Dojiri, you can't win that fight. That Charizard is looking angry, but it's getting chased down. All right, couldn't quite catch it with the tri-attack. He's gonna rebase. Hoopa's gonna push it out of the bush for bush checking. Deluxe is gonna have to block to save its life. I really like the hyperspace hold. I really help out this defender. It is bush checking and it's gonna cost it life. So you want to refund some of that. And it's back to business. It's back to work. All right, that might be if that Pikachu walked any further, that might be a juicy engage. With the fire punch, that is huge, but it got the ultimate. All right, Charizard has to back up here. The rest of the team's fighting at the bottom. Hoopa's getting number right on. 4 members are down for TR. Leafon getting a double KO here. Charizard X is going down. The Drio's running in. Chant got it secure. They didn't rip it that quickly yet. And Leafeon gets the secure.
And Sunder gets her clap back.
Sunder is primed to take game number 2. That is an easy score. Kyogre is one hell of an objective. You get it, and the team doesn't have a pad to stand on anymore, basically. No shields, no health for at least 30 seconds. That is rough. At this point, yeah, back away. Sunder doesn't need to do much more. They just have to, well, time is basically up. They don't have to do anything at this point. I just realized the time. Yep, this part is just a formality, and that's the game. Sunder takes game 2 in a very convincing fashion. All right, taking a look here. The final score is 511 to 172. Taking a look at the details here. MVP's Leafeon once again, but this time being piloted by Barn. 10 KOs, 2 assists, 249 points scored. Basically scored half the points. 87 overall MVP rating, very well earned. Looking at the battle data, and it reflects this. 10,000 damage dealt. He was the offense. Very good. Very competitive set. It was back and forth, but Sunder started to pull ahead. Leafeon was getting a lot of advantage. Pikachu is a good counter to this, but like only if they're next to each other. So if you notice, whenever Leafeon was like around, Pikachu wasn't quite there. So was able to like kind of run wild. So yeah, good stuff to Barn. Good map awareness. Excited for game number 3 here. Set is currently tied up 1-1. We'll be right back. We're gonna get the next match set up for you guys. Of course they do. Of course. 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 Alright. App is ground on. One second pick. Vault number 3. Vault number 3 is on the TR, right? Somebody. Okay, so everything's in order. So Sunder gets first pick then. Okay, cool. Everything's ready. Yep, there, see it. There it is. It has been accepted. All right. I almost started it when it was ground on 2 pick. Oh my goodness. I almost started it on ground on 2 draft, not 3. Oh, good thing I looked. All right, now I can pull the lever. All right, back to the batting phase. This is game 3. Both are very competitive. Well, Let's see here. What should be the bans this time? Leafon is getting a lot of mileage for a team that could get it for itself. So if one of the teams feel like they could ban him on, Leafon might not be a bad choice, but if you get it, you have a good chance of winning. So there's that. I don't think there was really a need to ban it. They just have to play a little bit better. Though if a team is picking Leafeon, then you're gonna have to pick at least 2 months that could you have to pick months that can just handle it. I know that's a tall order, especially in the early game, but that's just what you have to do. They're gonna ban Hoopa. I do agree with this. Hoopa was just all-star. That was the real MVP in my book. It just held everything together so wonderfully. It was really helping out the Snorlax. Snorlax needed all the help it could get. Snorlax, a defender with a healing support, it's just magic. You keep the defender doing its job as long as possible. So that's very good synergy right there. All right, Scarlet once again with the first pick. Snorlax is banned. There's plenty of other good defenders, but there's also Psyduck. Mel will be taking Psyduck. It is available, so have it. Neither teams picked Charwai last match, which is interesting. You don't really necessarily need to pick this Mon. It's not OD like that, but it is what it is. So far, TR is sticking with this combination first 2 picks. They really want the Pikachu. They really want the Metagos. These Pokemon are working fine. I do agree with this. These are pretty good Mons. They're really testing it out. They're getting some good feedback, I would imagine. All right, next 2 picks are going to fall to Sunder. Espeon has been doing well. It kind of just keeps to itself and it enhances its lane partner. They're going to be taking Blastoise this time around. I do agree with this. Defender-wise, its counters are off the table. There's no Mean Look Umbreon. There's no Block Snorlax. Surfing Blastoise gets more leeway. Now, there is another bomb on the wall, and it is Mr. Mime. That is like the last counterplay, essentially, for Blastoise. So I do agree with this Mr. Mime pick. Wholeheartedly 1,000%. They're also going to be taking Cramorant. Cramorant has been buffed up. You still don't see much of it, though. Thinking of picking that Mon up myself, it is, I believe this Mon is a mage in itself. So that will be an interesting learning experience. Over on last 2 picks for Sunder, it's going to be Zacian and a Darkrai. I do like this. So that makes sense. They took Miraidon. Miraidon's passive states that when you're in its electric dome, you can't fall asleep. So they already took the counterplay to Darkrai. Darkrai wants to put you to sleep to use its moves like that. So good eye, good choices. Psyduck and Blastoise are very good frontline Mons. They control a lot of space. They displace people very well, providing a lot of opportunities for Miraidon to get a lot of good damage for Charge Beam, setting up plays for Zacian and for Darkrai. Thunder has, once again, a very well-crafted team. But same for TR. I do like the Pikachu, I do like the Metagross, and the Mr. Mime. They have good damage, they have good control, and they have a speech to kind of manage off angles and get some picks. Both teams are pretty balanced in that regard. Both teams are pretty much evenly matched on paper, I would say. One other factor that Sunder has in its favor, it has Rip and Secure in Zacian. They have to really watch out for that. They have to be very, very careful. They don't have a Mon to kind of, if Zacian ults, they don't really have a Mon to stop that. They could try to burst it down. That's about all they can do. They have to really watch out for this option for objectives, especially the last one in the Groudon fight. Things are loading up here. We pray for no crashes. No crashes so far, so good. Let's get it started once again. We're going to have Psyduck and Zacian head towards the top here. No, actually, no, yeah, Zacian's heading up. He's not the jungler. Zacian is fine in either lane or jungle. He's that powerful of a Mon. Darkrai here will be the jungler. It's a bit of a slow farmer. It's going to take some time. Squirtle and Miraidon are heading to bottom. They'll be going up against Mr. Mime and Cramorant. Cramorant has very good secure, especially this early in the phase. They should be able to get the level 4 power spikes. Talonflame is a jungler, and over at the top is the Beldum. getting KO'd, and along with the Pikachu, Pikachu not just has to hold it down. Good early start for Sunder. Back to this Cramorant here. Mr. Mime actually goes down itself. Take a look at this here. All right, getting that secure, but Wartortle is now available. Pushing that farm away, that's the way you do it. Taking a look at the, oh, it's 850. Most of that is going towards the Wartortle. Good secures here. Looking at top, not much is going down. They already finished the 850 phase. Zacian has now reached level 5. They could push with this, charging up that Metal Claw. Can it hit anybody? No, the charge is faded. And Talon is here. KO. All right. All right, looks like we're going to have Mr. Mime head up to the center. It's almost time for 8. Almost time for Regidrago. Coming back down here. Catching this Wartortle. It's taking a lot of damage. It might get KO'd here. And one more. Secure that kill. Go for it. Use that eject. KO. So far, the Miraidon is doing a good job with the charge beam. Darkrai is here to back it up. Getting some final, yep, get the final hit on the Mr. Mime. One KO deserves another. There is a Shedinja doll. That Darkrai is trying to play its life, but I believe it is caught. He's not going to grab the berry. Nope. Yep, get outplayed. Over the bottom, Talonflame has reconvened, getting ready for the 720. Sunder's gonna leave Zacian at the top by itself. That is a good choice. Zacian wants the experience and wants the Eon energy, Eos energy, to enhance its moves. Good choice. All right, score is 62-0. Right now, it is relatively even. TR's gonna make a play for the bottom here. Pikachu's on its way down. It was getting some levels here, getting Volt Tackle available. Psyduck getting a KO on the Metagross. The passive activates. Psyduck has an Edic. But here comes the fly for major damage here. But it's getting Telekinesis. That is a KO. Psyduck is sneaky like that. Psyduck is also going to ult to deflect some damage. Reduce some of the damage. There's a Psychic Pull to a KO into a Thunder. That's how strong Psyduck is. This mon is never ever bad. And it's a Bubble Beam. He is a believer. I do like the choice of Psyduck. There is a basic attacking mon that's going to really enjoy it, and it is Zacian. Speaking of Zacian, looking at the top, it is having a field day here up top. It is a 7 versus a 9. Metal Claw. Yep, there it is. Player off to catch it. Talonflame's here for the... oh my goodness. It whiffed! He got it! Double KO! Clutch up! The shield from the ultimate saved its life. Does it want to score this? Yes, it does. It's going to get it in. And slam! Get the 5 points and bail. More farm is available. Zacian is clutching up. Back at the bottom, though. We have Cramorant holding it down against the Onslaught. Talonflame is here for the fly. Then it's a Ninja Dolph to try to save its life. Pikachu is ulted, getting major damage in, but it's going to get KO'd. Cramorant getting massive damage on the Blastoise. That's a Surf in. That's a Hydro Pump. Blastoise is out of here. Zacian is here. Doesn't want to get caught by the Mr. Mime. Good choice to use Player Off to get out of there. Score is 127-0. Sunder is pulling ahead here. Yeah, with that Darkrai being there. Darkrai is very slippery. It's very hard to reach. But Volt Tackle can circumvent this. It's waiting to hold past the Mr. Mime ult. It's gonna have to bail. Another Shedinja doll. I think it's cooked this time. KO. A juicy Miraidon ult. Creating some separation here. Uh-oh. That Zacian was a little greedy. He's gonna have to pull back. Oh, that's a huge Talonflame ult. It's got up to Psyduck. Problem solver. TR finally taking some control back. Looks like they're going to be able to get this objective. Uh-oh, Darkrai is back. Getting some good damage here. Mr. Mime goes down. Fly is ready. Who got the scare? It is Talonflame Fly. Pikachu here with the cleanup with the Volt Tackle ult combination. Psyduck's going to have to back up. Now, I know what you're thinking. Psyduck probably should have went Surf here for more stage control. And I do agree with you. But hey, I just really like Bubble Beam. He's gonna make it work. He's going to make it work. I believe in him. I believe in Mel. We're having Mr. Mime here with a 24 back cap, softening up this pad, getting ready for a big overcap come Groudon fight. Things have stabilized. Teams have returned to neutral, each of them getting their respective farm. Darkrai's gonna get center all to itself. What is Pikachu up to? He's gonna start over on this objective. Psyduck just waiting patiently. Uh-oh. Psychic ultimate. This is a greedy duck. One more. Yep, he's gonna have to back up here. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Oh, no. You gotta win your 1Vs. You gotta win your 1Vs. That Psyduck being a menace. All right, Mr. Mime back in the fact. Trying to get this farm here. Misses with the confusion. Doesn't get along the wall. 40 seconds remain until the Groudon fight. Both teams are at the bottom. That could have been a pick on the Miraidon, almost. Level-wise, it is pretty much even, with Darkrai pulling ahead slightly. Oh yeah, Zacian could just rip that. I would spend the cash. You get 20 points for securing this objective. Looks like it wants to save some points. Doesn't really need to spend it. It wants 44. Zacian is fully prepared here. Metagross here to cut it off. Doesn't want to quite do that fight just yet. All right, the fight here is convening at the bottom. Metagross is all over Zacian. Is gonna have to back up, running into the whole other team. Gonna have to use X speed. Won't have that for the rest of the. Well, we won't have it for about a minute. 50 seconds, give or take. Talonflame getting a back cap, reducing the lead that Sunder has established for itself. Nothing major has happened just yet. Though TR has to make the first move. There's no way around it. Uh oh, that Mr. Mime is going down. There's no one around to help it. So it saved its ult. That might be a mistake here. Next on the chopping block is Pikachu. It's starting to fall apart. Metagross is cutting his losses. It can't really compete with him. He's going to go for a back cap. Fly secure? Nope. Darkrai secure. Another KO. Darkrai ulting the Talonflame for his troubles. All that's left is Metagross coming in a bit late, but has nowhere to go. Blastoise going for another back cap, getting the score in. Extending the lead for Sunder. Mr. Mime ulting now, but there's really no one here to follow up with it. Pikachu's here, getting massive damage on the Darkrai. That's pretty huge. If they could just get 100 score in, they could actually win the game, but they have to play defense first. There's actually no more time. Talonflame with the cleanup. That is about it. They can have the 30 points. 10 seconds remain, and it's all but over. Sunder taking game number 3, leading the set 2-1. Another good showing from Sunder. 437 to 219. Looking at the details page, the Vainglory of the Blastoise this time is the MVP, getting that back cap in at 187 points scored, 3 assists, 3 KOs, 8 assists, 90 overall rating. Much agreed. It was controlling the space It was all the only defender in the match. Defenders are very important, dudes. If you have a defender, like, then you're like on the up and up. Mr. Mime can kind of supplement that. He has defender-like features, but he doesn't quite have the bulk or mobility like a Blastoise. It's kind of missing that. Checking out the battle data, bit of a bit low for across the board. Good damage numbers for the Cramorant here, 75,000 damage dealt. Pretty good stuff, pretty good stuff. Not quite enough to cinch out a win, but back to the drawing board. You have one more game to figure that out, but you got to figure it out soon. We'll be right back as we set up the potentially last match. Sunder's at match point. Stay tuned. All right. Back again once again for game number 4 and potentially the last game for the set. It has been a back and forth. More back than forth. Sunder's doing a good job showing dominance, pulling ahead where it matters. Let's check out these bands once again. Sadek was being an all-star for the team of Sunder. And they have first pick, so I don't imagine they're going to ban it. They might want to take it for themselves. Sadek was pulling apart everyone, reducing damage, creating stun opportunities. It was doing so much. Looks like TR's going to stick with the same bands. Same with Sunder. Everything's on the table. They all know what they're about, so it is what it is, and they're just going to have to play it out better. First pick for Sunder. Let's see what they're going to hone in on. I doubt it's Miraidon. It actually is Miraidon. That is very interesting. They're giving TR Psyduck and potentially Blastoise as well. Interesting. Looks like Miraidon is very pivotal for what Sunder is going for. Not sure what they're going for just yet. I see a Mamoswine. That is a good, solid defender. What will Barn hone in on? Barn usually plays a speedster from what I've been noticing. Who will he pick? Who's the good choice here? He's not going to pick just yet. He wants to save his pick for last. He's going to give it up to Vainglory. I see a Clefable. Probably running Moonlight and Gravity. So they got some bulky front line. A Mage would be a good choice here. Suicune is a good choice. Same with Cramorant. A bit low on the damage side for TR. Just a little bit. Next two picks, last two picks for Sunder. It is potentially going to be Surfetch is a wonderful pick. Surfetch is so good. But there's a lot of good choices for all-arounders. Looks like Char X is a core member there. And they're gonna have, are they actually gonna go with Duraludon? I want to see Duraludon so bad. Oh my god, we're gonna get some Duraludon. You guys are in for a treat. And it's Surfetched. You guys are in for a treat. Yes! So, all right. The mages are gonna have a bit of a tough time. Miraidon's just gonna outrange them and blast them. That Talonflame is a good choice for either the Miraidon or the Duraludon. It's probably gonna go fly. It just has to really hope it gets the KO because it won't be able to leave after that. So it's kind of a high risk, high reward play. But a choice like that needed to be made. I am looking here. I am very excited for Sunder's team. I'm very excited for Duraludon. You don't see that mon like ever. Same with Crownamrad. There's actually some like different picks here. This is gonna be a cool game. I can't wait for it. Looking at here, Garchomp should have a bit of a decent time here when it ults into that team. I'd imagine so. There is one key difference. Sunder has a healing support. TR doesn't. That might be their undoing in the team fights in the long run. We're gonna have to wait and see. All right, everything's loaded up. We're praying for no crashes. Very good. Let's get it on. At the bottom here, we're gonna have Mamo, and we're gonna have Miraidon. Solid lane, good bulk, good secure. They'll be going up against Suicune and Cramorant. I believe this team has an even better secure when going up matchup to matchup. We're gonna find out very quickly. The secure will go to Miraidon and partially Suicune. All right, they broke even a little bit. Up at the top, we're gonna have the Gibble and the Psyduck going up against Clefairy and Surfetched. It's 9:20. Zatus are available. All falling towards the Surfetched. Duraludon is here and it's heading towards the top, but here it's Talonflame as well. It is a 3-on-3. All right, there's the entry damage. That's a lot of damage. Duraludon backing up. It is bush checking it. Found somebody. Got some good damage here. Look at that range. It is firing away. Look at that cannon. It is actually a 4-on-3. Talonflame's going in. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Someone's caught. Surfetched getting caught with the basic attack from Cramorant. Not bad, not bad. Talonflame here looking for a favorable matchup. Whiffs his moves. Gonna have to back up here. Someone catch him. Yep, not getting away with that one. A jungler for a jungler. Interesting choice. Gibble's looking to become a Gabite. Another Bubble Beam Psyduck on this time on the side of TR. We got some Bubble Beam enthusiasts. You love to see it. Ching at the bottom again. Miraidon just charge beaming away, getting good entry damage. Regidrago is here, and it's past the 8-minute mark. No one's quite going for it just yet. They have bigger fish to fry. Suicune's going to be heading towards the top. There's the Whirlpool Ice Beam KO. Oh, whoop. It did not switch over. Wow, that's very interesting.
Goodbye.
Thank you. All right, getting a score in, 9 points in, more scores in for Mamoswine, getting a huge Ice Fang. Gabite getting taken down to Miraidon here, sorry, Duraludon. This Clef has overextended, and now Miraidon is, Duraludon is next. I keep mixing those two up. That is a KO on Duraludon. All right. Both teams are going to pretty much fight for this Regieleki here. Now, if we're going to extend too much, they're really more interested in the farm that's available, and this map has plenty of it. Scores 39-0. That's going to get that secure here. That's going to be a fly secure. There it is. Gabite has gotten it. Looks like it's going to be a full push over at the top for TR. Another fly. Heading straight for Duraludon. Yep. Like I said, Talonflame, once it comes in with a fly, it's committed to it, and it has to get a KO. And it's gonna be hard if there's a healing support. Time to get some scores in. Duraludon's not interested in scoring just yet. That is an interesting choice. They're gonna back up here now. Duraludon is weakened. Yep, it's overextended. It's welcome. The Fetch couldn't quite get the pickup on the Talonflame after the Earthquake pickup. And they're gonna get frozen for it. Mamoswine has procced its, I believe it used Potion, not Focus Ban. So here's a close battle indeed. It's 83-80. Right on. Holding it down at the bottom, just getting its levels. Once it joins the fray, the team fights, it's going to change tremendously. This Clef really wants its stacks. It should be done pretty soon. Even getting KO'd for it, interesting. Back towards the top here. That's gonna be 13 points. There's an Ice Fang on Psyduck. Psyduck's gonna be able to walk out of that even though it has a headache. Garchomp coming through the jungle, heading down towards bottom. The tier 1 for Sunder is still available. Scores 92-93. Psyduck getting Ice Fanged. There's nowhere to go. Oh wait, what's this? That's gonna be a big that's gonna be a big 40 points. TR extending the lead. Yep, this is Sunder versus TR. KO on the Garchomp. Surfetch strikes again. What's the bottom here? Some fights are happening here. Let's see here. Yep, another Ice Beam. Down goes Mamo. Duraludon's out of position here. Has to back up. I heard a Suicune ult, but it looks like it got stuffed out. Fly secure. There it is. 132-133. This is such an evenly matched set. Clock's running down. We're in the late game at this point. About 1 minute until the Groudon appears. Groudon has been doing a good job just getting its levels, keeping its life. It has reached level 12. Level advantage, it's pretty much even. There's some 10s, 12s, and 11s. Are they going to let this one walk in? I don't imagine they do so. Well, Surfetch has got that one. Back at the bottom. Talonflame is all over Duraludon, is out of position once again. You don't want to be giving away levels like that. Talonflame has reached 13 because of it. Garchomp is in an interesting position right here. He's in the clutch spot. Everyone's gonna have to be careful. Dot your I's and cross your T's. Where is everybody? Right now, Sunder should have vision on at least 3 mines. Uh-oh. There is the detect, and it's out of there. Oh no, Garchomp took way too much damage. It proc the focus band, or was it running potion? I'm not sure. Well, it was able to reset. That could have been a catastrophe. Talonflame didn't bite the bullet yet. It didn't go for it. It is waiting patiently. Or, okay, I thought it was not playing for a second. Down goes Psyduck. Talonflame has made its move. It's looking for somebody. Garchomp is finally ulting in. There's the separation. But Garchomp just couldn't quite get the KO. One was going to be fall towards Sirfetch'd. There is a charge beam. Miraidon has to get out of there. Yep, that should be okay. Oh, wait. Ice Fang! You're not stuck in here with me. I'm stuck here with you. Oh, no! Talonflame has to ult to get out of there. 137 to 133. At this rate, a back cap is going to win the game. Cramorant is leveraging it, but Miraidon is able to rip any objective at the speed of light. At this point, it should just keep ripping. Its health is too low. All right, I think it's going for it. It has to clear opposition. Sunder's technically in the lead, but not by much. Who's gonna get the secure? It was Talonflame. Oh my goodness, are we going into a game number 4? Sorry, game 5. He's gonna get that back cap, but it's not over yet. They're gonna capitalize, they're gonna get some major points. Get rid of that mine. I don't know who wins. I don't know who wins right now. What's the final score? I actually have no idea right now. It's gonna be a surprise. I think Sunder got it. They did. Oh my goodness. Sunder clutching it up once again. 289 to 249. This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I've been waiting for. Sets like these. It's going back to back, band for band. Let's take a look at these details. It follows suit. We have you, the Sirfetch'd, the MVP, 87 overall rating, but in my mind, that Duraludon was putting in massive work. Good showing. Good representation of the Mon. You love to see it. Checking out the battle data. Yeah, but doesn't lie, 65,000 damage dealt for the Duraludon, but let's keep in mind of another very pivotal stat. That Clefable, Vainglory, recovered 132,000 damage. See, that's the difference there. That is a huge difference maker. He's able to keep his teammates up and alive and active in the fight constantly. As you saw for TR, they actually constantly reset, give up positioning, give up advantage to like keep their like health up. It's a tough order. When one team has a healing support, it's usually prudent for the other team to have one too, just to keep up. One other standout stat is quality, with some quality damage here. 94,000 damage dealt as Suicune. Suicune was putting in that overtime, but it just wasn't quite enough. They fell a little bit short. But hey, good stuff to both teams. We're going to take a short break. We're going to tune into another set, which should be Outrage and D4. We're going to wait to squeeze our way in, so don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.